Well, Aaron Rigsby is the photographer who took this great photo that was, it was voted on by the public to narrow down to a small number that was chosen by the mayor himself. So Aaron did a very nice job, and I want to recognize Aaron. We have copies of the budget over here that are available for the press and the public on flash drives over there. And now I would like to introduce the mayor of the great city of Columbus, Michael Coleman.
Do I have that? So I have two versions of the budget. This one and this one. You could take either one. We're multi-purpose here, and we're high-tech. We're smarter and better this year. So I encourage you to take this one as well. So, all right. So I thank everybody for being here. I want to thank my staff, my directors, especially recognize Director Paul Rakowski, who's done an excellent job over the years as Director of Finance and Management. And then, of course, City Auditor Hugh Dorian. I see members of council here as well. I'm grateful for their attendance, and I'm grateful for their work in City Council in making this a great city. And they will have another opportunity over the next month, two and a half months to look at the budget, have public hearings, and make adjustments as needed at that time. This represents the 15th balanced budget I've proposed for the city of Columbus. This budget will maintain the strong neighborhood services that have made this city one of the best cities in the nation, while also tightening our belt to stretch every dollar as far as it will go. We are the fastest growing city in the Midwest. We are the safest city in Ohio, with fewer crimes per capita than Cleveland, Cincinnati, Toledo, Dayton, or any major city in our state. We have the lowest unemployment in Ohio at 4.3% at this moment, which is the lowest unemployment rate among the top 25 cities in the nation, except for the city of Austin. We are the best American city for opportunity, according to Forbes magazine, just this past September. And what that means is the people that live here have the best chance to succeed in Columbus more than any other city in our nation. We achieved all these things because we're great folks, we work hard, and we make the right kinds of investments. So I'm proposing a budget today that is worthy of that, but it is both prudent and an efficient budget. Today we propose a general operating fund of $813 million. In 2015, we will experience the full effects of the significant reductions in state assistance that began in 2011. Today, the state of Ohio is enjoying a budget surplus, but it is doing so at the expense of cities whose budgets get tighter each year. In fact, state government has grown its employees by 5%, while Ohio municipal governments have had to shrink their employees by a total of 7%. The state's local government fund, which supports cities, has been cut in half. The inheritance tax paid on the estates of rich people has been eliminated. And this has cost the city of Columbus about $40 million. So I'm not here today to whine about any of that. It is what it is. The truth is that strong cities means a strong state. We knew this was coming. We've prepared for it by saving millions of dollars that I'll talk about. And we continue to deliver neighborhood services in the most cost-effective way. Today's budget is a 0.7% increase, or higher than last year. By comparison, last year was 3% higher than the year before. So essentially, this budget is essentially the same as it was last year, more or less. We're maintaining our current level of uniform safety protection with a new class for the Division of Fire and 2 new classes for the Division of Police. If you look around the state, you won't see many cities that are able to add to their safety ranks. In fact, many cities, including Cincinnati and Cleveland, are facing reductions in police and fire this year. Others, like Dayton and Akron, are still feeling the effects of safety layoffs from the recession. Not only have we not had any layoffs of police and fire in the city of Columbus ever, we are still hiring police and fire to maintain and continue a high level of service, unlike most cities in the state of Ohio. In Columbus, we have been able to reduce crime without significantly growing the numbers of our police force. And as you see, our police force and our fire aren't getting better, but instead we're getting smarter. And it's being smarter that's making us better. Smarter with tactics that we're using, which include neighborhood safety cameras, which is somewhere around 200 right now. We're going to grow that exponentially over the years to come. Smarter because of the summer strike force, the safety initiative. Smarter because we now have a stronger, beefed up gang unit. Stronger because we have community response teams. Stronger because we have increased our bike patrol. And a real important part, stronger because we have a redeployment of police in the neighborhoods where they are most needed. Stronger because of a new focus on property crimes and scrap metal thefts. Stronger because of youth programs like APPS, where we intervene in violence of young people before they actually commit a violent act. And it seems to be working. The numbers speak for themselves. Being smarter makes us better. So according to new FBI crime data, we have 1,191 fewer violent crimes than we did 10 years ago, even though we have about 88,000 more people than we did 10 years ago. So that's a population increase of 6% and a violent crime decrease of 20% over that 10-year period. That graph shows the intersection between the downward line of violent crime and the upward climb of population. And we think the violent crime is going down because we're being smarter about how we're dealing with it in the community. Our firefighters and emergency service personnel are also keeping our residents safe. With the class of 45, we will maintain our current level of fire services, unlike many cities in Ohio. In fact, I just saw on one station, I won't say which one, just yesterday, where Chillicothe is looking to lay off their firefighters. In the coming year, we will assess and determine our needs in the outer areas of the city in the Division of Fire, and that will give us the ability to address those needs in the years to come. We're continuing to be aggressive and have a proactive approach to code enforcement that we began last year. We hired 8 new code enforcement officers in our neighborhoods. We're going to continue with that fight to fight blight. We're continuing to invest in education by expanding access to quality pre-K education and increasing career readiness. We're continuing our trash removal, recycling, pothole repair, and we'll have improved snow removal operations by making better and smarter use of existing staff and external partners. Again, we're being smarter, and it's making us better. We're continuing with our public health services while making new investments. This is really the only major new investment that we'll have this year, and that will be for the Infant Mortality Task Force convened earlier this year and facilitated by Council President Andy Ginther. We'll be setting aside about $475,000 for prenatal care, infant safe sleep education, and neighborhood support. And you heard about the 3 neighborhoods that we're going to focus on over the course of next year. I think this is an excellent initiative, and we need to embrace it and fund it. And if there's more resources that can be identified for this effort, I would support that as well. And so, we also need to continue to replenish the rainy day fund. You know, back in the days of crisis, we spent that rainy day fund down. And we made a commitment to replace it and increase it. And by the year 2018, where's my finance director? 2018, we'll get up to $75 million. And so we're on track with that. So we'll put in $2.2 million next year to grow the rainy day fund to $67 million. And that's important that we do so, because you never know when we need to tap into the rainy day. I've been the mayor now through 2 recessions, 2 major recessions. And you never know when another major recession might come along. And that's last resort money to maintain basic city services. We're not only just setting aside $2.2 million in our rainy day fund, we're setting aside another $5.1 million in our basic neighborhood services fund for 2016. And we're setting that aside in anticipation of 2016. And the reason we're setting that aside now for 2016 is because I believe the tight budgets are likely to be the rule rather than the exception for the years to come. So setting aside money today for future years is, I think, a prudent and fiscally responsible thing to do as well. So since 2001, we spent a total of $169 million less than we budgeted during that period. And this past year, 2014, we've spent $25 million less than what was budgeted. And our population has grown almost 16% since I've taken office. That's a great thing. But we've reduced our workforce by about 10% during that same period of time. So let me get this right. Population goes up, crime rate, violent crime rate goes down. Population goes up, our workforce goes down as well. We're trying to be as efficient as we can for our residents. In 2009, we promised that we would save at least $100 million over the following decade for reforms and efficiencies. Well, we're halfway through that time period, and we've doubled our promise. And we'll be saving $260 million through 2019 through our efforts of being smarter and better. We've become greener and more energy efficient by upgrading our lighting and our temperature control and traffic lights, which has saved us $650,000 since 2009. A full 30% of the power we purchase is now wind or solar produced. 30%. And we are reducing our greenhouse gas emissions by 7%. We now have the best and the greenest fleet in North America. That's just not me talking. That is through an analysis that was prepared by those folks who look at these things. We're using fuels for our city vehicles that are alternative fuels, which saves us more than $700,000 a year now. So we're continuing with these efficiency measures, and in being efficient, we're delivering high level of neighborhood services. Our residents deserve strong neighborhood services. And we're delivering this budget today for those services. We're trying to be smarter and better in the process. So I thank you all for coming. That is the budget. This is it. It's all in here. And you can analyze it in this drive. So what we'll do is do one-on-ones. Thank you.